like we have reached to that mark. For Sensex, we have almost crossed 71,500 zone. So it's been a phenomenal run that we have been observing in market for last 7 weeks. As you can see on the sectoral front as well, there was no sector which ended in red on the week-on-week basis, wherein IT was among the best performer, 7% gains. Then we had metal, realty, energy, and financial services. So IT, if you remember that last time we were bullish about IT and banking majors, and somehow we saw that in the last two trading session, we have seen a very sharp recovery in the IT majors after a period of lull. Now, talking about top five gainers and losers. So for the obvious reason, we have three names from the IT pack among the top five gainers in the Nifty 50 basket. HCL Tech, the preferred name from the IT space, that we kept on saying that this is the best stock to own when it comes to IT majors. That turned out to be right, because 10% gains for a index heavyweight is a very strong move. Then we had LTIM, which is a mid-cap IT name, and then TCS. Apart from that, NTPC and Hindalco, they also did well and gained nearly 7% each. On the losing side, we have BPCL, Maruti, Dr. Reddy's, Nestle India, and Axis Bank. So all these names, witnessed some profit taking. They were slightly in the back foot, after the recent outperformance. And now what to anticipate after 7 weeks of up move in the key indices. So see, the best part is, we have discussed about this last week also. In this entire move, it's not any one particular sector which was dictating the trend. It was always the rotational buying that helped the index to maintain the positive tone despite the overbought reading. So earlier it was auto, FMCG, metal names. Now it's banking, IT. So this kind of a combination helps the index to maintain the positive bias. So like this zone, there was hardly any price-wise correction in the market. And then we had this strong rally. Similar to that, we had this similar kind of a consolidation last week, that Nifty over in a very narrow range, followed by this strong move that we are seeing as of now. So keeping the overall texture in mind, plus the supportive clues from the global market, specifically from the US market, the US indices have made a new record high, and we touched upon the same last week also, that this could be the additional positive to what we are seeing in our markets. So all these factors put together indicates that yes, there could be a bit of a profit-taking consolidation in the market, but the tone is likely to remain positive. We are not going to see this move fade out anytime soon. 1,500 is the area basically that we were eyeing as a target. We have tested that area, but we expect this level to overcome, and 22,150 could be the next zone. Means a new milestone of 22,000 is also a possibility in this recent leg. Downside, in case if the market correct, this 21,000, which was the upper band of this previous consolidation range, should act as a strong support. And here we are talking about the position level. Intraday means for very short term, this area which was earlier acting as a Fibonacci extension level, that might also act as a support. So 21,200 and then 21,000, and ultimately 20,730. This almost low of this candle that we had saw last week during the corrective phase. So net we expect index to take a breather and consolidate above this area, and 22,150 is what we are eyeing positionally now. So it's a buy on dip market. There's no doubt about that. Banking is still supporting. In fact, in the last hour of the trade today, it was the banking heavyweights which were on the front foot. So IT majors were, under limelight since the morning, but the sharp recovery in the banking majors in the last hour of the trade, that helped the index to maintain this positive momentum and inch toward 21,500 mark. So I believe this uptone to continue in the banking index also, though the kind of momentum that we were anticipating it earlier, it's not there so far. But yes, we expect this positive tone to continue, and banking will continue to contribute in the coming session as well, the way we have closed on Friday. So again, for the banking also, it's a buy on dip, 47,200, slightly lower to this area. Is something that we expect banking to hold as a first support, and then 46,300, 350 area, this zone, 50% of this retracement. So overall, private banking measures are the one which one should keep a close eye on. It's not that the PSUs are not participating, but yes, the volatility is slightly higher on the PSU back. And the top names like Canara Bank, Bank of Baroda, SBI, they are basically trading in line in tandem with the private banking measures. Rest are still not showing a decisive sign of up move. Like last week, we also had certain breakouts in the PSU banking names, but they couldn't sustain. So the idea is to stick with private banking measures, 48,600 to 49,200 for the banking index too is what we are eyeing. In days to come. So overall, the tone is likely to remain positive in the banking as well. The momentum could not be this similar what we are seeing in the Nifty index, but yes, the bias likely to remain positive. Now talking about the stock ideas that one can keep a close eye on. So if you remember that last week we were discussing about looking at those names, strong, fundamentally sound names which are not participating in the rally so far. So Asian Paint is one such stock that after almost 2 years of this consolidation in this range of 35.25 to 25.50, it's currently in the middle of the band, inching gradually towards the record highs. Volumes are increasing. So everything looks positive, and indications are in the favor that this 2-year long consolidation phase may end in Asian Paint also in the coming week. So it's a one candidate that one can look for accumulation. Next on the list, emphasis for the obvious reason that IT is definitely in favor, and it's a long underperformance that we saw in the sector that we are trying to subside now. And post this breakout from the declining broadening formation, it has formed a fresh buying pivot while holding above the major averages, and now we have surpassed the previous swing highs with very strong volume. So everything looks conducive for this up move to continue, and the stock to inch toward 29,000, 3,000 level, 2,900 to 3,000 levels in the coming week. So this is one stock in the IT basket that one can keep a close eye on. And lastly on the list, metal space. So metal, I'm sure that Tata Steel, apart from Tata Steel, like a stock like SAIL, National Aluminum, they were basically the one who were like in a very strong up move. The momentum was very sharp, but we feel that kind of gradual recovery that we are seeing, the move is going to be more of sustained move in comparison to what we are seeing in the other counters. So for Tata Steel also, we have reclaimed the previous swing highs. It's a gradual mover, a steady uptrend on the weekly chart. So expecting this stock to retest the record highs around 150, 45 to 150 zone, and inch further higher also. So this is one stock that one can also look for accumulation in the coming week. So net for both banking and Nifty, the bias is positive. There could be intermediate consolidation, profit taking, which is natural that after 7 weeks of up move, at times we see like a breather or two for a day or two, but the trend is not likely to reverse anytime soon, considering the overall potential that we have in the sectors like IT, banking, plus the global clues are also conducive. So 22,150 in the banking index, in the Nifty, and 49,200 in the banking index is what we are eyeing. On the stock specific front, we talked about 3 stocks: Asian Paints, emphasis from the IT, and Tata Steel from the metal space, which one can look for accumulation. So this is all from the presentation part. We'll have a quick poll. This is the feedback poll, so please fill in your experience, and then you can start posting your question using that Q&A tab. Please quickly fill this feedback so that we can start with the Q&A. And if you're done with the feedback, you can start posting your question. All right, so let's start with the Q&A now. Okay, so first question from Mr. Jay Joshi on which sector is looking good for the next 6 to 7 months. So, fresh, if you say that, then IT is definitely the one which one can look at, because the other sector they have done exceptionally well. It's not that they're not going to participate in case if this up move is likely to continue. But IT is one space where we still have room on further upside. Means we are still around 15 to 20% below from the record highs for the IT index. So this is one sector that one can look at. Apart from that, selectively in the banking, in metals, means in the other sectors, all the other sectors, it's not any particular sectors. So it's more like stock specific approach that one should continue with instead of like stock specific approach. All right. So next question from Hassan Paul, that Nifty today does 21,500 non-stop rallies going on without any correction consolidation. What is your view regarding what is your view regarding Nifty closing range? Only 1 week is left. So I didn't get your questions clearly. Means are we saying that 1 week left for what? Because we still have a couple of weeks to go for the end of the calendar year. And overall, are we saying that this is too much? So, see, in markets, as long as we are seeing the participation, means the rotational buying that I've touched upon in the beginning of the webinar, that it's not only one particular sector is basically dictating the trend. All the sectors are contributing to the move, so that gives us comfort that this rally is not going to fizzle out anytime soon. This is something that but again, it's not that we are not going to see any correction or profit taking. It is natural, it's normal. And as long as we are not seeing any major retracement so of this entire move, if we retrace, let's say 20% of this move from 18,800 to this 20,000 21,500 mark, means a closure to around 20,700 21,000. It's a normal retracement. So but yes, during those retracement, what we observe is that stocks which are witnessing extreme up move, they tends to correct equally sharp. So specifically the PSU stocks that somebody is chasing, which are witnessing noticeable traction, be it the recent listing or the stocks which are already there in the secondary markets, maintain very strict stop losses. Keep on your stop losses on rise, just to avoid this situation where we are stuck in a good stock but at the wrong price. Thank you, Mr. Subramaniam, for feedback. Next, so please, stock specific queries is something that I request to please avoid so that we can finish this webinar on time. And okay, Mr. Linga has a view on metal sector. So metal as a sector is doing well, but again, like the top performing names, they are slightly on the back foot right now. Jindal Steel, JSW Steel. The others names are doing well, like Tata Steel, SAIL, National Aluminum, Hind Copper. So it's again need to be like stock specific approach, and within the metal space, we touched upon Tata Steel during the presentation. So then one can look at if the risk to reward seems favorable to you from the current levels, you can definitely consider. Okay, next question from Mr. Subramaniam on capital goods and FMCG. So this sector is not participating. To be honest, yes, apart from IT, FMCG could also be one of the sector which can do well. In the next leg, because we have not seen much participation from the FMCG pack so far. ITC, yes, it did well, but if you talk about the others name like HUL, Colgate, Dabur, Marico, Britannia, so it was a decent move, but not in similar to what we are seeing in the other sectors. So maybe it's due to the earning expectation. Also, this is one factor, but we feel that FMCG still have room for further up move. Capital goods is doing well. In fact, LT is trading at a record high. Siemens have recovered very strongly. ABB and the other names, they are also doing well. Fresh buying, I won't recommend. In the capital goods space, provided that we see some consolidation in the names like Siemens and L&T after this strong move. Okay, so prospects on logistic and transport sectors, Mr. Chandramouli. This it's a subsector basically. So I'm not seeing any major traction, to be honest, so far. So this couple of names that I was tracking of late, they have seen some recovery, but it's not very decisive recovery, to be honest. So for a time being now, I guess the frontliners and themes, if you are chasing any particular theme, then cement within the infra space. Then we have fertilizer counters which are witnessing decent traction. So these are some of the themes which are playing out well. And in case if we see any correction in those names, then one can definitely look at. Okay, so Mr. Rohit, it's not for the currencies, only for the equity markets. So please restrict your queries for the equity related questions. Okay, next, what about private banks? The private banks, can they move further? Definitely yes, because uh, Axis, ICICI, Kotak, HDFC, IndusInd Bank, just the top five names, if we consider, we still have decent room to go ahead, because if you have noticed that in the last 5 to 6 months, it's more of like consolidation phase in most of the private banking majors. So after reclaiming their record highs, I doubt that it's going to fade out the move anytime soon. So these private banking majors are likely to continue. It's not that all the other names are doing well, but yes, selectively, I feel that the majors, not the mid-tier or smaller private banks, the private banking majors is something that one should follow. Okay, next question from Mr. Manish Kumar. Chemical sector कब start होगा? So I understand that people are sitting with the chemical stock in their portfolios, because a couple of years ago, in fact, not more than 1.5 years ago, we had a phenomenal surge in the chemical stocks, and all those theories that China plus one would result in further up move and steady uptrend, but it turned out to be otherwise. So far, we are not seeing any up move. In fact, we are seeing sharp correction in the chemical related across the board. So I feel for a time being now, it's more of like a neglected sector. So usually when we see the pessimism at the highest level, then the sector reverses. So as of now, we might not have reached to that area, because we are still seeing reversal every now and then in some of these names. But it's very difficult to comment that are we going to end this cycle anytime soon, this corrective cycle in the chemical stocks. So instead of trying to vouch on that part or bet on that part, sectors which are performing well, we should be on that space. So those who are stuck in the chemical stock, they should not just worry about their existing investment. in case if the pocket allows, then you should make investment in the sectors which are performing well, and try to reduce your position in the other sector which are not performing well and not as per your expected price performance. Okay, so this, though it's not the part of this webinar purview, but still I would like to touch upon this, that which mutual fund will be best for buy within a week. So there is no thing that we invest for a week, Mr. Ghosh. So please avoid, any short-term investments. Investments are for the long term. At least you should have a time horizon of 6 months. Means on the higher side, it should be 3 years, 5 years, kind of a investment horizon that one should make. Short-term investment is not the right approach, because we are already up, significantly in this, calendar year. Just to give you an idea, that 17% on the Nifty, almost 54% on mid cap index, almost small cap index, and 45% on the mid cap index. So if you are thinking of just chasing this momentum through mutual fund, is going to be very tough, and it's not logical also. So if you are trading, then it's a different story, but not for mutual fund is not for trading, it's for the investment purpose. So avoid any short-term investment. In case if you're planning any long-term investment, then definitely you can look for, to start with, any index fund, like Nifty fund, Sensex fund, in case if you wish to have idea how the market works. Okay, next we have Sachin on chemical sector. Same, I guess it answers my hope your query. And see, this is subjective, Mr. Chandramouli, that why the logistic is lagging when the other sectors are performing well. At times we do see the lag, if you just see this, that auto stocks have done pretty well, but we are not seeing a similar kind of traction in the ancillary space so far. It's not that they are not participated, but the momentum, the kind of momentum that we have in the auto space, the ancillary space is not participating. So at times we could see this lag for several reasons. It could be industry led, could be other demand led, or other factors. So as of now, yes, it's not that we are seeing any, but as we always say, that the neglected sector, sooner or later also find the buyers. So for a time being, in case if it's not participating, it's prudent that one should stay away from those names, and sync our position with the sectors and stocks which are playing out well. Okay, so see, IPOs, in case if you are associated with us, you can definitely check your emails. We send IPO notes to all our clients on regular basis. So we have a recommendation for all the recent IPOs. And for these names, again, yes, we have already shared the IPO notes, so we can't comment on that on this forum. Okay, so with this, we have answered all the queries, I guess. Yes, so thank you everyone for participating, and next week is 22nd. Yes, so okay, so Mr. Manish Kumar, I guess you missed the last week's presentation. तो उसमें भी हमने यही सजेस्ट किया था कि आप सैटरडे इवनिंग या संडे मॉर्निंग में अगर आप देखेंगे, तो हमारे जो यूट्यूब चैनल है, हमारा जो रेलिगर ऑनलाइन, इंस्टाग्राम पे और फेसबुक पे, इन हर जगह पे एक छोटा सा वीडियो इस पूरे वेबिनार को हम समराइज करके हिंदी में जो करते हैं वो हम अपलोड करते हैं. तो ये सेशन इंग्लिश में ही रहता है, बट वो एक छोटा सा वीडियो जिसमें कि हम सारी चीजें जो हमने डिस्कस की हैं वो हिंदी में होती हैं. तो आप डेफिनेटली आप देख सकते हैं उसको सैटरडे इवनिंग, संडे मॉर्निंग को हमारे चैनल्स पे. All right, so with this, we have answered all the queries. Thank you everyone for participating. Next week, same time, we'll connect again. So thank you.